Hello, this is Alondra and Amanda, and this is our Project 2 predicting movie revenue. So we had two main key findings from this project. Our first key finding is that revenue is multifaceted. It cannot be accurately predicted using a single feature like budget alone. Multiple interacting factors contribute to a movie's financial success. Our second key finding is that the models trained with more features showed a slight improvement in performance, but the gain was marginal and didn't significantly enhance predictive accuracy. So, to give a little introduction and context behind our project, the global film industry generates billions of dollars annually, with studios making strategic decisions around casting, release timing, marketing, and production budgets to maximize box office revenue. However, predicting a movie's financial success remains a complex challenge today due to the multitude of contributing factors. And in recent years, the growing availability of movie metadata and advances in machine learning have allowed data-driven approaches to predicting film performance specifically its revenue. So the data set we used is called the movies data set. This was taken from Kaggle, and this data set includes metadata on over 45,000 movies. For this project, we selected a few specific features, and these features were budget, release date, top actors, multi-label categorical data such as movie genres and keywords. We later transformed the release date to their respective seasons, and our target variable was the box office revenue.
So the first model that we used was linear regression, and we started by creating a baseline model with one feature, which was uh, the log budget. And on the right, you can see the graph, the residual plot for that one feature, which shows a pretty heavy concentration towards the right side of the plot, of data points really close to zero. But on the left side of the plot, you can see that there are more data points that are fairly far away from zero. And even on the right side, there are some data points that are still fairly far away from zero, showing a high residual. Um, and after creating our one feature model, we also created a two feature model that not only takes in budget, but takes in um, the categorical data season. And you can see that that actually didn't fully didn't improve our model significantly, leading us to then decide to switch up the model that we were using um, to random forests so we can hopefully capture these non-linear relationships better. So again, we started with a one feature baseline model, and that produced an RMSE score of 0.81, and an R squared score of 0.41. And then we also ran this random forest one again on the two features to see if it would improve. And then we finally ran this model on a with over with five features, which as Amanda was talking about, took in everything that we mentioned earlier, which was like the seasons, the genres, the keywords, the log budget, all of that, to try and get a more accurate model. And this actually did produce our lowest RMSE score. And on the right, you can see from that model, log budget was had the highest feature importance, contributing over 50% to our model. Um, and then all these other points just have to do with like the genres and the keywords, and the cast members that were associated um, in our data. Yeah. And then for future work, while cleaning our data, we dropped a lot of rows that had missing values. And we feel that in the future it would be beneficial to research these missing values to fill them in. Um, that way we don't significantly reduce the size of the data that we're passing into our models so our models can have um, more information to train on. And then we also wanted, I think on the future it'd be helpful to create more emphasis on accuracy um, by exploring different models that can hopefully better encapsulate the relationships between these features and in predicting revenue. Um, yeah. Um, and it would also be helpful to to include features such as um, number of money that went towards marketing or things along those lines, because those are also things that have a big impact on um, predicting revenue and the success of a movie.
One of the most exciting aspects of this project was working with a huge number of features within the dataset, everything from genres and keywords to cast members and even release timing. It was really interesting to us to explore how these features interact with one another and contribute, even though sometimes in very small ways, to box office revenue. Even though many of them had minimal impact, whether individually or as part of a set, seeing how they combined to shape predictions gave us a deeper understanding and appreciation for just how complex and unpredictable the film industry really is. Thank you for listening.